Hello and good afternoon, my friends. It is Tuesday, February 25th, 2014. Just a couple of days left in this month before we get into March and some warmer weather. Spring is going to be in the air soon. Anyways, it's 1:26 p.m. here in New York. This will be a quick 5-minute video lesson on the plug trade, which is going quite nicely. As I start to record this, we're seeing that $4 break right now, so it already pierced it once. My guess is we'll probably flag around 4 and break higher into the close. I'll look to take my profits in through there. I'm not going to take them on this rally right now. I think there's a little bit more in the tank. This is a strong chart, strong stock. Let's talk about how I predicted this in the 360s and how it's turned into a very nice trade for us. So here we go. We'll break this chart into, let's say, 5-minute, 5-day. Go 7-day on this one. See how that looks. Perfect. All right, so 5-minute, 7-day. And we'll take a look at the alert in through here. So here's the alert in the 360s. All right, I picked up shares in the 360s. Right now, the portfolio says 378 because I already sold the 360 shares. All right, so what was I looking at in through here? We talked about this rising channel, right? Or this ascending triangle. That's what we talked about in through here. So the stock has a pullback. And then there's that violent whipsaw right in through there. You see Luke day trade those a lot in the chat room, right? And then we have this consolidation in here. It moves up and finds some resistance, pulls back, makes a higher low, finds that same resistance, higher low, same resistance. I bought that higher low right in through here, suspecting that this was going to make a move to the 4s soon. Why would I suspect that? Well, let me get the FinViz chart over here for you, and you'll see the breakout that I was kind of predicting on this one. So here we go. Let me bring this into play. So here's the daily chart for you, and you can see the symmetrical triangle and a strong stock, meaning a stock in an uptrend. When it develops a symmetrical triangle, the probability of it coming out on the top side is better than it coming out on the downside. So this is a strong stock, right? We can see the huge move up, the flag, the secondary move up, right? The pullback to a higher low, the test of the top trend line here. And now we're breaking out above the trend line here. And I think now the range is between 4 and 450, which is why I'm not in a rush to sell these shares. All right, so there's the daily chart. Everything we talk about in the continuation pattern video lesson carried over to a real live trade. So let's break this down. I bought 10,000 shares here at 367, and it made a move up into the 70s, but that surely wasn't what I was looking for. Pulls back to my entry and then consolidates before the close. I had 20,000 shares, I bought 20,000 shares right out of the gate. So I took 20,000 shares, which is roughly a $70,000 position. It's a little bit big for the portfolio, so I had to take some off into the close and through here. And what I said in the watch list was, hey, listen, if this thing gets momentum on Tuesday, I'm going to take more shares. And sure enough, it did exactly that. It opened strong and it broke through that resistance, which then becomes support. Let me carry that over. See that in through there? So today, in the middle of the day, when this was pulling back, you betcha I grabbed my shares on that higher low pullback. Remember, previous resistance becomes support. So let me regroup. 20,000 shares here at 67. It hits up against resistance, pulls back. I hold my shares. I'm waiting for it to go high a day, and I would have held them all, but because it didn't, 20,000 shares was too much. I alerted selling half my shares, and I kept 10,000 shares. Then I said in the overnight watch list, if this shows any momentum, I'm going to double up. And sure enough, the open was strong. There was that move through that resistance. When it pulled back in through here, I bought those 78 shares, the 378 shares. And boom, it explodes, right? Right up to below 4, which we know is the resistance from in through here. So I sold the 67 shares, 367 shares, the initial entry, those 10,000 shares. E-Trade is first in, first out, meaning whatever you buy first, if you sell part of that position, it's first in, first out. So the 67 shares went in through this move right there, 393, and that 393 there represented 7%, a couple of $1,000, right? 67 to 93. That's absolutely awesome trading. And then I let it consolidate in this little flag here, and now it's making its move above 4. Now this one is looking really strong, so I'm not in a rush to sell it, but I do want to get it above 4 because now those 78 shares are up a couple of $1,000 as well, as you can see right in through here. So this is just really good trading, and this is what we're looking for on the charts. And you can predict these things before they happen by simply studying the daily. When you study the daily and then start to break it down into the 3-minute 5-day, the 30-minute 20-day. Again, let me go back in through here and pull up this chart to show you what I was looking for. See that symmetrical triangle? See that consolidation on the trend line? That gives you some clues that it might be setting up to make another move. So you just have to kind of roll the dice and time when you think that's going to happen. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. Some won't pan out, but the ones that do pay quite nicely. So that's the plug trade. That's it in a nutshell. I'm not going to carry on with this one. It's moving now. Look, it's getting going. You see this big volume? A lot of people are always saying, Jay, how do you time that big volume? A lot of times I'll buy those, right? And then if you're not around at the time of the trade, there's a little bit of frustration there. Listen, Wall Street goes with or without you, right? We were in this one in the 360s. So here's the creeping action up towards the high of day. And then the shorts get squeezed in through here. The momentum day traders move in and you get this large amount of volatility. And those moves in through there, those are the ones that you want to sell into and take your profit. Again, I've already got a good profit on this one, so I'm not in a rush. I think it'll consolidate around the 4s and maybe I get another dime on it. I don't know, but for the purpose of this video lesson, I'm not interested in taking it right now. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. Hopefully I can get it around 407, something like that, and that'll give me a really nice profit of about 30 cents per share on the remaining 10,000 shares. That's what I'm looking for here, and again, I think it'll get there, but whether it does or not, it doesn't matter. This is a winner. I already locked up half of my shares for about a quarter per share and 25 cents per share, and I think I'll get a little bit more here. But hopefully you can get a little bit of insight as to what I'm looking for when I send you these alerts. And remember, we're trying to position before the momentum happens. Not the easiest thing in the world to do, but can definitely be done, and this is the perfect example of it. All right, man, rock and roll. Hopefully you made some money on the plug trade.